Hi there. I want to share a few things, a few practices that have been really transformative for my life, and sharing will also help me to bring it all together and better understanding. And I'm not ashamed to admit about having had issues with depression and addiction, and I went through really dark periods in my life of being suicidal, and I know other people struggle with that, so I want to share honestly from my experience, and maybe it will help somebody else in their journey wherever they're at. So one of the practices I've came across, and I'm not even really sure what to call it, but it uses like archetypes, parts theory, that what you do, I think this is what helps a lot of people for addiction work is to find their core self, as somebody said a couple weeks ago. They found their, like, hitting rock bottom is coming to that place where you finally sense who you are, who the essence of you is, and then you have maybe for the first time ever in your life, you have a point, a starting point, like a reference point, and then that changes your relationships too, because you have a reference point for what you need to stick up for or stand up for in yourself. You're not, so that's your core self, and all around that's all these other personalities, the you from your past, and like your child parts of you. There's the indulger and the controller. That's a big thing in addiction work. So you would talk to those parts of you, or have them talk to each other, or be paying attention to what's going on. When I'm struggling with food, I'm seeing, sometimes it's like the indulger saying, oh, go ahead, it's not a big deal, just, you deserve it, you need to be comfortable right now, and so have the whatever it is. And so the indulger's kind of taking over, and there's another part of me with maybe a greater sense of things that knows that that's not gonna help, and not gonna leave me feeling better in the long run. So, and then another part, that's the controller, that sometimes takes over, that makes life just a means to an end. We gotta follow these rules and make it this way, or bad things will happen. And so these different parts, they're all different parts, and they tend to be polarizing. They tend to be like one versus the other, and it can create, like, you and yourself, your psyche can pretty much be at war constantly. It can create so much inner conflict and struggle. But it doesn't have to if you come into a meditative space, create some space, pull back and let them start talking to each other. Let there be space enough for you to see, what does that part actually need. So for example, last night I was seeing some old weird stuff coming up, and there's a part in me, I call it the lost child, because I'm 9 of 10. So, and guitar is the third, and I know now I know as a parent how difficult it must have been. Like, yeah, I was just along for the ride, I didn't get one-on-one attention. So there's a part in me that is pretty much just hiding in the corner and not getting what it needs, and has no idea how to, and now I've been able to talk to that part, and sometimes it just needs comfort, sometimes it just needs to know it's okay. It really, really has helped heal a lot of the depression and the things I had struggled with for a really long time. Being able to see that and honor it and comfort it, and I really, people in my life, like my partner, who really were there for me, who really helped to create a safe space so that, I think people who struggle with depression, who struggle with self-harming, it's like your physical body has not learned its sense of okay because of your parents, family environment, whatever it is. You've never been able to be in a space where you feel safe, where you feel okay, or self-contained, And so it keeps acting out in you, like you acting out, wanting to hurt yourself, like a part of you has to kind of come alive. That's like, what? No, this is mine. This is my body, and I'm going to protect it. I'm okay. There's a part, the lover, and there's parts that are positive, and then sometimes some patterning comes on, and it's making those into a shadow. So you can't access a part of you that would be positive, that would be empowering for whatever reason. And then so you feel constantly the need to find it from somewhere else. So if you're wondering what's going on with you, really all you have to do is look at what you're really attracted to. Look at the people who you say, oh, I can't stand that person. Oh, they just drive me nuts. Those are the qualities that you aren't okay with. Those are the things that are like shadow, or shadow being what you haven't incorporated into your sense of yourself. And it's a spiritual practice. It's a deep spiritual practice, because once you do incorporate that into who you are, then you're not at the mercy of what's going on out there. You're not, that person that you can't stand anymore. You have compassion for. You have space for them. Maybe you choose not to spend a ton of time with them, but if you have to, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't ruin your whole day. So, and that is in you. That is in you. And if there's something in you that's not okay, that's just going to create struggle. It's going to create conflict and pain. So one way I've worked with this, like I spent some time this morning, you can journal, and you journal from these different players. So, there's a higher power that you can speak from. There's a you that you can speak from. There's a child you can speak from, or the indulger, or the controller. All these different parts of you can be given a voice and write what they would be saying, and so that the insights can come through, so that can be heard. And that's really all that needs to happen. That then it will show you. It can show you what's needed there. For example, the lost child, listening to it yesterday, and it telling me, I need a break. I need you to back off. Or I need a safer space. I need more time to just play and to feel okay, feel at ease, instead of feeling pressured to grow up, or there's a huge, beautiful vein of gold in this kind of work, I think, because once each of us has really owned our own sort of geography, then we're not projecting stuff onto others, and we're not creating war, and the world can be a more peaceful place. It's in this kind of work that we create peace in the world. We create peace in ourselves as the only way there will be peace in the world, I think. So, thank you for listening. Thank you for allowing me to share. And I am open to comments and open to hearing what your experiences have been and helping create conversation around that. And that's all. Bye now.